Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and yesterday there was actually two countries that picked their songs for Eurovision 2018, the second of which being not Belgium, but actually Romania. I know it's hard to tell, I can't afford proper lighting, just take it on faith that this is the Romanian flag behind me. So, as is tradition, they had a national final, and this year, that was won by a group consisting of Cristina Caramarcu, Alexandru Cesmarcu, Alexandru Matei, Alin Neagoe, and Adi Tetrada, collectively known, totally not suspiciously, as The Humans, with a song called Goodbye, presented in English, music by Matei, Alexandru, and Alin Neagoe. Am I saying that right? Neagoe, and lyrics by Cristina Caramarcu, and sort of personal joke with this one, Goodbye by The Humans. That sounds exactly like something that some Martians would say whilst trying not to draw attention to themselves saying hello. That's a bad joke on my part. They are the humans, they're saying goodbye. Clearly there's a higher narrative here, except there isn't. Okay, enough weird failed attempts at humour on my part. First impressions. Right, for the first minute and a half, I thought this song reminded me of the Romanian entry from 2015, Bella Caput by Voltage. Well, okay, I suppose it did remind me of it. I don't just think it did, it actually did remind me of that song. But I did find myself wondering while that was happening, so is this going somewhere? And then that was the exact second that the guitars kicked in as if to answer my question, like the song was listening, the song knows what I'm thinking, and it's like, actually, yes, we are going somewhere. And in that moment, the song switched over from reminding me of Voltage to sounding a lot more like the German band Silbermond. And that's not a bad thing, to be perfectly honest, or at least in my opinion, it's not a bad thing anyway. For that matter, in a lot of ways, the musicality of this one actually reminds me of Albania's song this year, which I find to be reassuring in an unusual way. It shows that this type of music is more accessible than you might think, and in this day and age, no less, as well. And as a result, it's getting plenty of representation, which I'm glad to see that that's happening. Now though, let's go a little bit deeper and see what this song does that might meet with your approval. Well, as you may expect from a song called Goodbye, it is a highly emotive number, but we aren't just told that through the lyrics, it's demonstrated on every possible front, in the lead singer's expressions and intonation, in the instrumentation, in the key, in the... well, I suppose it's not really a shift in style per se, but the sudden surge of instrumentation halfway through the song. And that's something that I want to recognise separately on this list as well. That shift, giving the song a distinct pair of flavours rather than just a single... well, it has an upbeat face and a downbeat one, and the two work together surprisingly well. Or, in less flowery terms, it's not jarring when the song suddenly becomes much more energised partway through. Some people might find it to be more jarring, but personally I think it flows rather well. As far as I can infer, the song does sort of subtly guide you towards expecting that change to happen, because, as I said, when I was first listening to it, I thought, is this about to do a thing? And then it did the thing. So it does subtly signpost that it is going to get this sudden surge of energy partway through. So that's well executed, I think. If absolutely nothing else, it doesn't break the song's identity, it's perfectly in keeping with what you might expect from a song like this. Overall, in both of the song's modes, I suppose you could call them, the variable intensity of the instrumentation matches the lyrics and the overall tone, as I touched upon before. It's not like it's a sad, introspective ballad set to a death metal backing track, and it's not like it's a bright, cheery song played against a piano and a music box that only play in minor keys with a sad choir in the background. No. It matches the intended tone in terms of both emotion and also presentation, without ever over or underselling it, and without misrepresenting the song and the overall message. It works. In short, the instrumentation works with the message and feeling they're trying to convey. The song does what it sets out to do. And I say this about a lot of singers this year, but we do seem to have a lot of good quality singers this year, and this is no exception. The lead singer of the band can absolutely perform live. Okay, maybe not perform necessarily, but I'll come back to that in just a short second. But she can absolutely hit all the right notes with the right inflection and the right emotions and the right facial expressions and the right everything in a live setting, which is vital for making a performance like this and a song of this general emotional caliber stick the landing. Good job there, humans, you done good. Now though, on the other side of the fence, things you might not like about this song so much. Well, the key talking point is the song's two-tone nature and the fact that it changes partway through. But first, I'll address the remark that I made just now. Yes, the lead singer can absolutely sing live, and that's fine, but literally what was that choreography during the national final? True, Margaret Berger was guilty of very much the same thing in 2013, and she did end up finishing 4th in the grand final, so it's not really that big of a deal, but if they're going to insist on choreography for some of the band, or all of the band, or even just the lead singer, they should change it completely, because I mean, giving it all this during a song that's supposed to be sincere and emotional, it looks silly, to be completely honest. Now, on subjects that make me seem a bit less crass for pulling them up on it, depending on how you feel about the song's presentation, you may be of the opinion that half the song is taken up by the intro. Yeah, while I see the shift in the middle as a change of flavour to represent narrative progress that still fits within the song's MO, some people might see that part, like that middle section where the guitars come in, they may view that as the true beginning of the song, and if that's how you look at it, then you might see the first minute and 20-ish seconds of the song being just a protracted, excessive introduction, which would then make the song seem short because half of it was introduction. I don't see it that way, but some people might, and if we follow this train of thought to its logical conclusion, then you may also feel as though because of that shift and because of the sudden change in energy levels, I suppose you could call it, that it feels more like 2 short songs in the space of 1 regular-sized one. As I keep saying, I think it flows just fine, I don't have any problems with it, but some people may not recognise that shift in the same way that I do, so you might find it to be more like a sudden snap to a different song from the same album. Say what you will, it does still feel like it's music by the same people throughout, it's just a question of your own personal tastes as to whether it sounds like the same song throughout. I think it does, and I don't know if anyone truly does disagree with that, but I think there may well be people who do take that opinion, which is fine. It takes all sorts after all. In any case, I know I explained that rather poorly, so let's just put that behind us and move on to the scores out of 10. For my own personal subjective rating, I'll ensconce myself quite comfortably on a nice regular 8. I do like the musical stylings of Zilbermond, so this sort of stuff does resonate with me a fair bit, but I do find there to be a certain lethargy, I suppose, to this sort of genre. It's just an endemic thing, it just happens with songs like this. And this song isn't immune to that. This song also has that kind of lethargic feeling in some places. So that means there are a fair few moods that I could be in where I absolutely wouldn't enjoy this song anywhere near as much as I would if I went into it in a neutral mood. So knowing that sort of detracts from my enjoyment a little, just knowing that, oh, if I listen to this, then I won't feel a certain way, and then it'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I know that's me being excessively meta and overthinking it to much more of a degree than I should, but hey, that's what I'm good at. I overthink things. It's presumably why you're watching this channel. As for the technical rating out of 10 though, trying to be much more objective and fair and balanced and looking at what the song does on paper, I'll acknowledge the group's talents and give them a 9. For a song of this genre, it's not much new, granted, but it's definitely a success story in all of the key beats that are expected of a song like this. On top of that, in my experience of the song, I think they handle a transition from the downbeat phase to the upbeat phase very well. So I don't find it to be jarring or like it's a sudden shift, like they've put the brakes on and put a different song on instead. It doesn't feel like that to me, but the possibility for feeling that way does still remain for some people, so I don't know. I also have concerns about how they might stage this one in Lisbon, because they're going to need to be careful if they want to sell it at its optimal, most efficient. But as long as it doesn't involve more drunken aunt at a wedding kind of dancing, I'm sure they'll be fine. But is this a step in the right direction for Romania? Honestly, I didn't get to watch the national final because yesterday I was really busy with reviewing all 5 of the Super Saturday songs, so I can't really comment on anything specific within the show. As far as I know, this is a neutral step, because it's the same format that they've been using for years and years, although they do seem to keep varying the number of songs in the final, but that's whatever. It still turns up a final of roughly the same quality of song, and they have a good quality song winning that people can like and not feel ashamed about liking, and it's all fair enough. What's the use in fixing a system that isn't broken, right? So they have good songs competing, a good song winning, same as last year. Also, I heard that Dorados performed their entry for Moldova as an interval act, which, considering the song was chosen literally 1 day prior, that's some impressive turnaround time in terms of getting them booked to perform. So overall, yeah, job well done I suppose, but it is another day at the office for Romania, so good place, neutral move, well done. But can we expect to see the Humans in this year's final? At a glance, I'd put that at 75 to 85% definitely likely. After all, Romania's only absence from a final, unless you count the pre-qualifying rounds from 1993 and 1996, was 2016, where they were excluded from the contest because, well, we all know that story. So, Romania knows what it takes to take a national final winner and turn it into a qualifying Eurovision package. And this song has the presence and the presentation and the potential to keep that tradition up quite easily. Of course, this year's contest is shaping up to be especially competitive, so nothing's carved in stone just yet, but Romania is one of those countries who can always be relied upon to deliver, as long as their broadcaster isn't up to their ears in massive amounts of debt. Well, all is well for the moment, so I'd say the odds of this one at least making the final are pretty good. So I have been, will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and to the Humans, I wish you the very best of luck, and we'll see just whether or not you can bring the human touch to the final in Lisbon in May. Good luck, and we will see you then.